In this video, I'll first show some building tips, then I'll walk you through how to make the robot, and at the end, I'll show you how to troubleshoot some common issues. Okay, let's start with a few tips. If you ever have trouble fitting any two pieces together, you can rub some candle wax on the outside edges of the piece being inserted or on the inside edges of the other piece. This helps because when the wood pieces are being cut by the laser, the glue that holds the plywood together melts and gets on the outside edges of the wood. That glue is kind of tacky and it can make it difficult for the pieces to stick together. The wax covers that layer of glue so it's not quite so sticky, and that makes it easier to fit the pieces together. However, that layer of glue on the outside edges of the wood is also what helps these pieces stay together, so only use the candle wax when necessary. Okay, tip number 2. If there are two pieces that are too loose and they're falling apart, you can get a very small piece of masking tape, pinch it around the outside of the connector, and then fit it back into where it needs to go. Alternatively, if your robot is completely done and you've fine-tuned it and it's working great except something keeps falling out, you can just apply a little bit of super glue to the outside of the fitting. Okay, tip number 3. If you need to take something apart by hand, the easiest way to do this is to firmly pinch it, and as you pull, wiggle the piece from side to side. However, there's an easier way to separate two pieces. All you need is a blunt, non-sharp butter knife from your kitchen drawer, or a small flathead screwdriver. Either way, to remove two pieces more easily than by hand, wedge the tool between two of the parts, and then just give it a twist. Repeat on the other side until the part comes loose. You can also use this technique to loosen up a connection that's too tight. Tip number 4. If you want to paint the robot, I recommend doing that before assembling it. If you do choose to paint your robot, make sure not to get any paint inside any of the connection points or on the outside of any of the connectors. The first step is to wire up the battery holder to the motor. Make sure to turn the battery holder off so you don't accidentally create a short circuit by crossing the wires. Open up the battery holder and install the batteries so the flat side is touching the spring. The motors have two metal tabs on them that have holes, and we're going to use those to connect the battery holder. Take one of the wires, put it through the hole on either of the tabs, fold the wire, and then twist it as many times as you can. When you're twisting the wires, avoid pinching and twisting the metal tab on the motor. If you do that, it might break off. Repeat with the other wire. Through the hole, fold it in half, and then twist it as many times as you can. In the end, it should look something like this. Give it a light tug and make sure that the connections are strong. It doesn't matter where the red and black wires are connected. Turn it on and make sure that it works. Okay, we're going to put the motor inside of the robot, and for that we're going to use these 4 rectangular pieces. So the first step is to take one of these pieces with a hole in it and put it over the motor so that the shaft is poking through. Now turn on the motor and notice which way it's turning. You can imagine that if this was a wheel, that it would be driving in this direction. So this side is going to be the front of the robot. The front piece has this window-shaped hole, so that is going to get attached right here. And attach the other side piece. And now attach the back piece. Note that these 2 slots need to be at the bottom of the robot near the motor shaft. Do a quick double check, turn the motor on one more time, and make sure that the motor is turning in the right direction. Remember, imagine that this is like a wheel and you want it driving the same direction as this piece is facing. Okay, now we're going to finish the main body housing by flipping it upside down and attaching this bottom piece. You'll notice on the bottom of the motor there's this little plastic piece that is not centered with the rest of the motor. This wooden piece that goes on the bottom also has a hole that isn't centered. Make sure that this plastic bit and this hole line up before attaching them together. The easiest way to attach these is to start on one side just like this, and then fold that piece down, working your way onto each of the fittings. This last one can be a little bit difficult, and this is a great time to use something like a butter knife to very gently pry that piece away to give a little bit more space, then fold this down and push everything back together. Next, we're going to attach the battery holder to the robot. Gather these 4 hooked-shaped pieces. There's 2 short ones and 2 long ones. The long ones are pretty fragile, so be careful with them, but if you do break one, you've been supplied with 1 extra. First, fit the 2 short ones into the bottom of the robot. Now sit the battery pack onto those pieces. Get one of the long pieces and start by just fitting the very corner of the piece into this hole in the side, like that. After getting the corner in, push and rotate the piece until it hooks around the battery pack, and then squeeze it until it's fully inserted into the side. This technique of starting with the corner and then rotating it in helps prevent this piece from breaking, and it makes installing it easier. If you want to add a head onto your robot so it starts looking like a robot, you can do that now if you want, but I prefer to keep it off until the end because it can get in the way. Okay, the next step is to make the leg and arm assembly. So set this aside for now. For this part, we're going to use these little staple-shaped connectors. And notice that there are long ones and short ones. Keep this in mind when you're assembling. I'm going to start with the long ones. So the easiest way to put these together is to first interlock them a little bit, then stand them up on your table and use your thumbs to push straight down until they connect all the way through. Okay, the 4 connectors are assembled. Set these aside for now. Gather the motor connector piece, set it flat on your table, gather one of the long connectors, and we're going to fit it into this cross-shaped hole. So like before, just fit it in as much as you can, and then use your thumbs to push down until it goes all the way in. Now take the motor connector and fit it onto the motor shaft. It's easiest if you lay it flat on the table, get it in position, and then use your hands to press down on the connector, like that. Go ahead and turn it on, and make sure it's working. If this connection isn't moving or it's really struggling to move, you can use the butter knife or screwdriver to wedge it in between the motor connector and the body and just wiggle it a little bit so it loosens up. We're going to add this crossbar to the top of the robot. This piece just slips into this gap right here. And again, like with all these things, it's easiest to do if you set the robot down on the table, get the piece in position, and then push down with your hands. Next, we need to add a little spacer piece onto this crossbar. This needs to fit all the way down the crossbar and sit flush against the side of the robot body. Sometimes it can be hard to push it all the way down, so this is a good opportunity to use some wax to rub the outside edges of the crossbar. Now fit the spacer on and push it all the way down. Next, get the leg piece and fit it on just like this. Now take one of the arms and fit the square hole over the crossbar. Make sure the hand is facing the front, and cap it off with another one of these pieces. You don't need wax for this. Okay, check and make sure that the arm can move loosely. This is a little too tight, so use your butter knife or screwdriver to get in between any 2 of the pieces and just wiggle it a little bit until the arm is nice and loose. Now take this piece, put it over the motor connector, and cap it off with one of these gear-shaped pieces. Like with the arm, make sure that this is moving loosely. Now take one of the short connector pieces and fit it into the back of the arm. Fit the back of the arm to this piece, and cap this off with a gear-shaped piece as well. Okay, let's turn it on and give it a test. That's working pretty well. If yours is not moving smoothly like this, don't worry, at the end of this video, I'll show you how to troubleshoot some common issues. Now, when making the other side, there's one really important thing to note. The next motor fitting needs to be moving in opposition to the first one. In other words, if this first motor fitting has the connector pointing toward the back of the robot, then this next motor fitting needs to have the connector pointing toward the front of the robot, like this. Having these two fittings moving in opposition of each other is what allows the robot to take steps. Okay, let's recap these steps. There's a spacer, the leg, the arm, and this gets capped off. Make sure it can move loosely. Now this piece, which gets capped off here with a gear, short connector, fit this piece onto the back of the arm, and cap that off with a gear. Okay, go ahead and test and make sure that both legs are moving smoothly. The next step is to attach the feet. So, like with many of these pieces, first get the foot in position, then set the leg down on the table and press down from the top with both hands until that connection is fully set. Okay, repeat for the back foot as well. And do the other side. Make sure that all 4 feet have the long part pointing toward the center of the robot. So as you're doing this, you may need to manually rotate the legs so that the feet that you're working on are below the other leg. That will allow you to press down onto your work surface. Okay, we're finally ready to add the head of our robot. Okay, the last step is to give your robot some personality and one or more of the accessories. To hold the laser blaster, you'll need this tiny square piece. Just fit the square piece right here, and now your robot can hold it. Okay, let's test it out. It's not working right away, and that might happen to you too, which is totally fine. These are wooden mechanical parts, and sometimes if they're fitted together too tightly, or something isn't quite in the right place, it can seize up the whole mechanism. So let's talk about how to troubleshoot this. First, we just need to identify where the problem is, and the easiest way to do that is to wiggle each of the connections and feel where it's too tight. So there's 3 connections here. I'm going to examine each one. So this one, that one's moving a little bit. This one here, I can feel that it's moving up here. I think it's right here that's too tight. So to loosen this up, you can use a butter knife or a very small flathead screwdriver to wedge it in between those 2 parts and just give it a little bit of a twist. Now let's check again. You can see now that it's a little bit loose, and that's just what we want. So let's test it again. Now it's moving, but it's falling over. So if the robot is falling over like that, that means that the feet are not perfectly flat. So let's take a closer look here. So what we're looking for is to see if any of these feet are crooked, whether they're bent inward or outward too much. So this front foot looks good. Let's flip it around to the back. If we look at the back, you can see that this foot here is crooked. It's tipping inward too much. So to fix this, I'm just going to very gently bend it until it's flat with the rest of them. Okay, let's try this. All right, now it's working. In addition to those things, here are some other issues that you might encounter. If the robot is still tipping over, another thing you can look for are excessively loose connections here at the motor connector. If this connection is too loose, then this leg can wobble from side to side, and that can cause the robot to start tilting like this and then eventually fall over. So make sure to tighten up these connections as much as you can while still allowing the robot to step smoothly. If it's still tipping over, go ahead and set the robot down on the table and press on the top of the leg down onto the feet, again with all 4 of them. Another issue is that the battery holder may not be resting on top of these pieces here. That can raise the center of gravity and then cause the robot to be unstable. So make sure that these are fully inserted and that they are level with the bottom of the robot, and then push the battery holder down until it's firmly seated onto those pieces. Make sure that this battery holder piece here is fully inserted into the side of the robot. Otherwise, it can rub against the leg and slow everything down. To do that without taking apart the robot, you can just firmly grasp the robot above where that connector fits into the side, and then pinch it tightly. So it may take a little bit of troubleshooting, but it'll be well worth it in the end. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy your new robot.